Good morning, students. Today, just wanted to begin the course on agriculture with once we will begin it systematically. But before to that, just wanted to have some idea to give you some idea that how the lectures would be, in what way we will plan it, what will be the flow of the lectures, what will be the flow of the lectures, and how it has been designed so that you people can understand and you can see the clarity, the concepts regarding these topics. So I intended to cover some topics, but considering the importance of some topics which might be important, which for which you will not be able to find notes so commonly, but the questions have been asked repeatedly in OPSC and UPSC examinations. So one of the topics is irrigation. Okay, irrigation and related concepts. So irrigation itself is a very vast concept. Under irrigation you will find many of the topics and subtopics. So what I have done is, I have gone through the papers of last 7-8 years, OPSC paper and UPSC paper, and I have tried to make my notes as precise and as concise as possible related to this concept. Okay, so let us begin this topic. So this will be the usual flow of my presentation. Generally I begin with syllabus. Why syllabus is important? Because once you know the syllabus, what is syllabus, what are the topics to be covered, then you can know. As I was telling to you, many of the books of agriculture are written for PhD and MSc students. They are not intended for civil services. So first you should know, anything under the sun in agriculture need not be studied. You have to study what is required and what is being mentioned in the UPSC syllabus. The topics which are mentioned in UPSC syllabus are highly important. So I have broken down the topics in small parts for your benefit. First is water use efficiency in relation to crop production. There will be questions like what is water use efficiency, how water use efficiency is affected, how to promote water use efficiency. So in that sense, this is one of the important topics, water use efficiency in relation to crop production. Next is criteria for scheduling of irrigation. Irrigation scheduling is another important topic where you need to know how irrigation is scheduled, what are the methods of scheduling irrigation and other things. Next is ways and means of reducing runoff losses of irrigation water. You know, we keep on irrigating our fields, and irrigation is a very costly resource because water is getting scarce, electricity is a big problem nowadays, and renewable and non-renewable, another problem is going on because non-renewable energy resources are limited and there is scarcity of coal and other things which are being faced. So in that case, we cannot go on and keep on applying irrigation water as long as much we want. So ways and means of reducing runoff losses of irrigation water is another important topic. Next one is rainwater harvesting. That is an age-old concept of water harvesting going on since centuries, that has been practiced traditionally in many of the parts of our country, and it has been continuing till now also. And rainwater harvesting has got the prominence once again. Okay. Next is drip and sprinkler irrigation. These are the modern methods of irrigation which has been developed to provide better efficiency of water use, to provide better crop growth, to reduce runoff losses of irrigation water and other things. Next is drainage of waterlogged soils. I was talking to you ahead about runoff losses, then again we will talk about drainage of waterlogged soils. Waterlogged soils, again it creates a problem for crop growth. There will be high amount of anaerobicity because of non-drainage. If the agricultural fields are not drained properly, that again will create a problem for crop growth, because the roots their growth is inhibited once they are waterlogged or they are under the water, bearing some few crops like rice which needs inherently waterlogged conditions. Next, another important topic is quality of irrigation water. In this we will be talking about pH, EC, salinity, all those constants about water. What type of water is needed for irrigation and what will be the problem if we apply this water. And in some areas where we cannot change the water at all, then what are the remedial measures if we have got the poor quality of irrigation water, right? Next important topic is effect of industrial effluents on soil and water pollution. This topic has been asked as such in UPSC and OPSC examinations ample number of times, for which you will not find the answer anywhere. You have to make a ragtag answer. You have to join something from here, something from there. You have to combine it and you have to make it. Next is irrigation projects in India. Though question has not been asked from this area, but you must be aware ki what are the major irrigation projects, which are the major river valley projects, which are the major canals or irrigation related constructions done in our country. So this breakup of the syllabus which you are able to see, this I have broken down, which you will find in the UPSC syllabus in the form of a paragraph. I have broken it down into subtopics and all the subtopics will be explained to you correctly, because all these subtopics have got a potential of, they have all potential of becoming a question. They have been the question in the past and they will again become a question in future, right? Next, what I do, and this is my method of preparation also, I first try to see what are the previous year questions. So what I have done, I have clubbed all the questions which have appeared in civil services, OPSC and Indian Forest Services examinations at one place. Yeah, please. Yeah. Okay. So this is my method of teaching, in which what I do, I club all the questions. Shall I wait for you, ma'am? You are okay? I am talking about irrigation. I have chosen the topic to teach for you, irrigation. I am talking about irrigation. So prior to this, I was explaining about UPSC syllabus and what are the topics which need to be covered in this. आगे आजिए, you can come front, no issues. Yeah. You are BSc Agriculture? You are BSc Agriculture? Which year? Achha, you have completed PG from which subject? Plant Physiology. Good. Okay, then you will find these topics interesting. You are preparing for UPSC? OPSC. Okay, no issues. So, we will continue, ma'am. So this, my way of teaching is, before trying to understand about any topic or any course, you should see the syllabus and you should see the previous year questions. Okay. So you can see some of the questions related to irrigation, water use efficiency, which I was explaining to you some time back. What are the different techniques used for increasing water use efficiency in relation to crop production? This has been asked in CSC 2017. Then define water use efficiency and water productivity. List the crops having high and low water use efficiency. It is CSC 2020 question. Again, you will find in 2020 they have asked, discuss the measures to enhance water use efficiency and water productivity in agriculture. So you can see, related to water use efficiency, questions have almost been repeated in CSC and IFOS. In OPSC, you can find in 2006 they had asked, list out the techniques for increasing water use efficiency. Simply, the question is very straight. You need not do anything. Just, I have mentioned all the points I will be discussing with you. You just need to write those points. Again, they have asked in 2016, how would you increase the water use efficiency of crops? See, how the questions are repeated. Define water use efficiency and methods to improve water use efficiency. How do you understand by water budgeting? Explain in detail, OPSC 2018. So you can see in OPSC constantly there has been a question in related to water use efficiency. Okay, next, Mention the ways of conserving soil moisture through rainwater harvesting. Again, I had told you that rainwater harvesting is an important component, though it is an old concept, but government has given focus to it again. So again the question has been reflected. So you can find, see, in OPSC 2018 they had asked, again they had asked about rainwater harvesting. So this irrigation topic itself is a very important component of your paper 1. Right, write about runoff losses. Then again you will see why irrigation water resources are shrinking. Discuss the ways of water conservation. What is the basis of classification of water for irrigation? Like I was talking to you about quality of irrigation water. That is again a big problem. Right, again that section came. Discuss the significance of quality of irrigation water and rainwater harvesting for crop productivity. Civil Services 2016. What are the advantages of good quality irrigation water? What are the various irrigation systems followed in crop production? Describe the merits and demerits of system you prefer the most. Write short notes on biodrainage and its limitation. This was one of the unique questions in 2019. This was a new question entirely. Many people, even though they wrote agriculture, they found it difficult. Biodrainage, something out of the blues. Do you know something about biodrainage, ma'am? You have not heard. Have you heard of eucalyptus? Eucalyptus tree जानिଛ? से ट्री टाइप कौन कहती बहुत वाटर एब्जॉर्ब करे ना तो जो एरियाज रे वाटर लॉगिंग रो प्रॉब्लम था जो कैनाल जाए ना इन सम एरियाज यू विल फाइंड दैट कैनाल्स आर फ्लोइंग इन दोज एरियाज ड्यू टू सीपेज you will find that lot of water logging situation is there. So in order to that, people plant huge number of eucalyptus trees. Eucalyptus trees absorbs the water and transpires it to the environment. That creates cooling effect plus water logging problem is solved. They wanted that simple funda, biodrainage. See, if you can understand this funda, biodrainage, basically it is talking about drainage and bio. So there must be some plants must be involved for the drainage of that water, right? What are the problems of waterlogged soils for crop production? Again a famous question. Give suitable measures for management of waterlogged soils. Next, how is plant growth affected by waterlogging conditions? Suggest suitable measures to improve crop productivity under these situations. How drainage of waterlogged soils can be done? OPSC 2016. See, questions are not tough, provided you know an answer in proper way. Like if you would have seen my yesterday's video, madam, I was talking about कि all the topics of agriculture are simple in nature. What you need to know is what I want to write. हमें क्या लिखना है? What I need to write. If you know that, you need not spend time more on agriculture. You can spend time on other topics. So this is my fundamental. I will be sharing this PPT and all with you, where you will find all the questions at one place, so that you can practice and you can write. Okay. Next, justify that scheduling of irrigation depends on crop and availability of water. Okay. Describe how irrigation is scheduled in the critical stages of crop growth. List out appropriate approaches for scheduling of irrigation. What is scheduling of irrigation? See, if you group all these questions, one area you will find is water use efficiency. One area they are talking about drainage. One area they are talking about quality of irrigation water. One area they are talking about scheduling of irrigation. So if you study in this manner, in package wise, like okay, drainage I have studied, done. I have studied scheduling, done. I have studied quality of irrigation water, done. So that will give you good marks and more clarity to your funda, rather than reading irrigation as a whole or reading from Yelamanda Reddy sir's book or any other irrigation book will not give you clarity. Okay, what is drainage important? Sorry, there is a typing mistake. Why is drainage important? Explain its types. Describe different measures to improve drainage of waterlogged soils. Discuss in detail drainage methods in waterlogged soils. What are the problems of waterlogged soils? Define and explain consumptive use of water, evapotranspiration and water use efficiency. These are all favorite questions of UPSC and OPSC and IFS. The three examination questions I have clubbed together, I have put it. Once you will get these PPTs, you can revise those questions and you can practice those answers. Right. Right. Now we will begin the topic irrigation and methods of irrigation. Okay. So what is irrigation? Irrigation is the process of applying water to the crops artificially to fulfill their water requirements. Okay. Crops need water. and nutrients. They are the most important resources required for plant growth. So sometimes water is available naturally through rainwater, but in the areas where water is not available through rainwater, there we need to apply water artificially, and that process is called as irrigation. Nutrients may also be provided to the crops through irrigation. What is that concept called? Can you tell me? Fertigation. That can be done through drip irrigation or sprinkler. In that case, we use a special type of fertilizer called as water soluble fertilizers. Okay, the various sources of irrigation for water are well, pond, lake, canal, tube well, and even dams. But dams will be linked to canals because long canals are raised through provided from dams, which will provide water to distant areas. So can you say me about some famous irrigation canal of India? Canal, some famous irrigation canal. One canal was there in our country, for the information of students, which changed the history and geography of a region. It was constructed post-independence. Have you heard of Bhakra Nangal Dam? It is on which river? Satluj. It is on Satluj river. So, a irrigation canal was taken out from Bhakra Nangal till Bikaner, Jodhpur in Rajasthan. What is the name of that canal? Indira Gandhi Canal. You would have heard of it, very famous. That changed the entire geography of that region. That region now grows cotton, rice, and all important crops are grown just because of a single canal. So you can understand the importance of canal irrigation, that too on a country which is agriculturally dependent, right? Different methods are used to apply irrigation water to the crop depending on the slope, amount of water, and equipment available. The crop, and the method of cultivation of crop. So irrigation we have to provide, but how we have to provide, that are dependent on some factors. Like अगर आप crop उगा रहे हैं, if you are growing crop on a hilly area, their method of irrigation will be different. If you are growing on a plain area, their method of irrigation will be different. If you are growing on a sandy area, their method of irrigation will be different, right? So that's why I said different methods are used to apply irrigation water to crop depending on slope, amount of water, and equipment available. For example, you have very less water available with you, so you will be preferring some method which will apply very less water, like drip. Drop water will come from there. Or if you have very high amount of water, then you can go for flooding surface method of irrigation, that is flooding method of irrigation. Okay, otherwise that is dependent on water and equipment. If you don't have any modern equipments, then what you need to do? For example, if you don't have drip is a costly system, but now it has become relatively bit cheaper. अगर आपके पास ड्रिप नहीं है तो आप कैसे यूज़ करेंगे? What will you do? Can you suggest me some method? Have you seen those olden times? You would have seen in some of your agriculture books. A pot is there, मटका जिसको बोलते हैं घड़ा. There they will make small holes and they will fill it up with it, and slowly the water will be released. That is all a method. That's why I said it is dependent on equipment available. Next, the crop. Rice is there. Can you apply that drip? Nowadays though they are trying with drip, scientists have been trying, but rice requires a huge amount of water. Okay, and method of cultivation of crop. Some crops we grow like in rice only. If we cultivate SRI method, water requirement is different. If we go for direct seeding, the irrigation requirement is different. If we go for traditional method, water irrigation is required is different. Okay, so this was what is irrigation, how irrigation is dependent. Matlab what are the methods and how we are doing that. Next is, what are the main methods of applying irrigation to the crops? There, one is surface, next is subsurface, and third is pressurized irrigation system. Okay, we will see one by one. Surface, subsurface, and pressurized irrigation. In surface irrigation method, there are many methods like flooding, basin, check basin, border irrigation, furrow irrigation. These are traditional methods. There is nothing new in surface irrigation, and you will not find much questions from these areas. You can note it down if you want, ma'am. Surface irrigation methods, they are old methods. Farmers are practicing it, but scientists are not advising this method anymore because it leads to huge amount of wastage. Okay. Flooding method of irrigation. This method is used exclusive for lowland rice cultivation. Lowland rice cultivation means the normal areas in our country where we cultivate rice. It is sometimes used for other crops also. Water is allowed from channel to entire field. You would have seen in your agricultural courses, you would have seen that big channel is there. Then they divert it with the help of spades, they divert it to the field. In this method, the requirement of labor is very less and spreading of water is easy. One labor he can do for 5-6 acres, he can cut and he can join and he can make it. It is also used for orchard crops in many cases. Okay, it was the first method of irrigation to be devised by man, and it is also the most simplest one. When man knew about agriculture, that this was the first method of irrigation which he practiced. See, this is a general method. You have taken water को छोड़ दिया पूरा field में, the water is going to the entire fields as it is. Okay. Next, basin method. Basin method is a method of irrigation in which only the basin around the trees are irrigated. This method is mainly used for horticultural crops, fruit crops. Basins are generally round in shapes and sometimes they are square in shapes, dependent on the type of crop which we are growing. The basins are small when the trees is young and they are increased when they grow old, because small tree will be having less diameter. When it grows old, the diameter of the basin will increase. Okay, you can see this ring basin method of irrigation. This ring is there. Sometimes there will be a connection between these two rings, so that once they apply water with force, it will go to the entire field. Then again it will go to the next basin and it will keep on moving ahead and ahead. Okay. Next is check basin method of irrigation. It is the most common method. Here the field is divided into smaller unit areas so that each has a nearly level surface. Bund or ridges are constructed around the area, forming basins within which the irrigation water can be controlled. The basic purpose of making basin is that you need to stop the water. Once you need to stop the water and you know that water has been saturated in this plot, open the ring basin, the water will move out of that. Okay. The water applied to a desired depth can be retained until it infiltrates into the soil. The size of the basin varies from 10 meters square to 25 meters square depending on soil type, typography, stream size and crop. What are the advantages of check basin method? This is the important part for your examinations. Check basins are useful when leaching is required to remove salts from the soil profile. Sometimes you will find that salinity is a major problem. In those cases, check basins are useful. Next, rainfall can be conserved and soil erosion is reduced by retaining large part of rain. High water application and distribution efficiency is there because of this method. If we don't make the basins, soil erosion will occur. If rainfall is coming with huge velocity, soil erosion also may occur. So here we are having twin benefit. We are doing irrigation also and we are conserving soil also. So what are the limitations? The ridges interfere with the movement of implements. This is a big disadvantage. You want to do some intercultural operation, like you want to move a power tiller, but that basin will distract it. है ना? More area occupied by ridges and field channel, that is again a loss. If your land is limited, this much piece of land you have and you are forming big basins, how much area is wasted? है ना? That is also one of the major problems. So considering this problem, during 2014, I had a chance to meet with our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi ji. That time I had presented to him about one concept. You might be knowing that there is a field, in every field. I need a marker. Achha, got it. Like you will find this is someone's field, okay? Then this is someone's field. You would have seen this is a common scene in the villages. You would have seen this is an area which is wasted. Some raised piece of soil is being put to separate this from this land, to demarcate basically. So what I had suggested, if you calculate this for a village, it will come in some acres. If you calculate it for your district, imagine how much acre it will come, and imagine it for the country. For a country like us, who is having very less resources and population is increasing, even if this much piece of land is wasted from per farmer, imagine the amount of land which we will be losing in the entire country. So what I had suggested is that what we will do, you want to demarcate, you can put some border crops here. Border crops you can put, like huge height crops, like maybe we can put that castor, we can put some flower plants. Flower can be used, India is a religious country, many people use for religious purposes and aesthetic purposes also. Or in cases we can use poplar tree, small eucalyptus trees, which we can harvest and sell in the market. So imagine the double benefit which farmers will get if we do not waste this land. Just I was talking to you about this because in check basin method of irrigation we lose a large amount of land because of irrigation purposes. Here I was talking about general. So once I had given this suggestion, I was happy to find that in next 2-3 years there came out a scheme, Har Med Pe Ped. Har Med Pe Ped. You would have studied about it. If you have not studied, just go and Google it. Har Med Pe Ped means this is called Med in Hindi. This is called Med, this distribution, division of land. Har Med Pe Ped. On those Med, you use the ped on the trees. That will give you better productivity, right? So this was one part. Okay. Next, not suitable for this method of check basin irrigation is not suitable for crops which are sensitive to wet soil conditions around the stem, because then wilting will take place. If it is completely soaked in water, sometimes the plant gets died also. Check basin method of irrigation, this diagram is there. In examinations, if you write something and if you put it in the pencil in UPSC, OPSC, Indian Forest Service, you write only 5 words but put 2 diagrams, you will get more marks. You will definitely get more marks than someone who has written 100 pages of theory. You write 2 pages of theory, 1 page of diagram, you will get definitely 35-40 marks out of 60 marks. More than 40 also you will get in OPSC, and in UPSC you will get definitely 17-18 marks out of 20 or 25 marks. Okay. Next, border irrigation method. In border strip method of irrigation, the field is laid out into long narrow strips. So this method, border irrigation method, I am talking about the surface irrigation methods. In that, one of the method is border irrigation method. Okay. Then length of strip ranges from 30 to 300 meter and width from 3 to 15 meter. Water from each strip is allowed into each strip at a time. This method is suitable for close growing crops and medium to heavy textured soils, but not suitable to sandy soils. Why? Because percolation will go very fast. The size of border strips depends on stream size and soil texture. Always you will find that irrigation method is highly dependent on stream size and soil texture. Okay, so what are the advantages of this method? Compared to check basin, the labor required is quite less. Intercultivation is possible as the strips are long. Large irrigation streams can be efficiently used. This was a problem which I was talking to you some time back. Intercultivation operations like moving of equipments and all was a problem in ring basin, but here it is not a problem, right? Disadvantages: distribution of water is not uniform, with more water for the crop at beginning of the strip. If some crop, here is our irrigation channel. If here some plant is there and here some plant is there, this plant will get more water, but as it proceeds here, the water will get reduced for the last crop. Okay. Border strip method of irrigation. Okay. Next, furrow irrigation. This method is suitable for crops being grown in ridges and furrows. This method is suitable for crops like sorghum, maize, cotton, tobacco, brinjal, those crops which are growing in ridges and furrows. Okay. There are different types of furrow irrigation method. We did not focus that much. We just need to know that there is a furrow irrigation method. I have given it in detail that if somebody is interested to read, they can read about it, but it's not required in such depth. Next is subsurface irrigation. Water is applied to the subsurface soil through underground perforated pipes, like I was talking to you some time back, that matka, you make it holes. Water is also applied through deep trenches at 15 to 13 meter interval. Like this is your land, you make it here parallelly, one pipe will be going on, there will be perforations which will provide. Here we used to provide water from top in surface. In subsurface, what we will do, we will provide water from bottom. This is the, here our crops are growing, and this below that soil line, our irrigation system is going on. Here there will be perforations which will provide. So what can be the advantage of this method? Why to go for subsurface? There will be some advantages, like we will not have evaporation losses. Evaporation losses will be minimized if we go for this method. Okay. The surface soil is dry even when the root zone is wet, because water is directly going to the root zone, na? And thus minimizing or eliminating evaporation losses. Okay. This method is used in areas where water table is shallow. जहाँ पे पानी बहुत है, where water table is very top, there you need not worry, but still there need to worry nowadays because water is a very limited resources, है ना? But it is very important in those areas where water table is shallow. Subsurface is practiced in areas like Kerala for coconut cultivation and in Kashmir for vegetables. Okay. The drawback with this method is that maintenance of pipe is difficult and sometimes it interferes with cultivation. Again the same problem. Here the pipe is below the soil, na? It is prone to rusting, it is prone to animal that rodents attack, it is prone to damage. You cannot see it. So then what you have to do, you have to again dig the soil, take out the pipe, maintain it. So maintenance will be a problem in this type of irrigation method, right? So every method comes with some advantages and some drawbacks. You can see, like I was explaining to you, this is the crop, and below to this you can see some perforations are here. There are perforations marked. Root zone is directly getting wetted. Okay. Next, pressurized irrigation system, that is drip, sprinkler and rain gun system. है ना? Sprinkler irrigation system is one of the pressurized irrigation. Why it is called pressurized irrigation methods? Because water is brought and then pressure is applied with the help of electricity so that desired shape we get. If it is drip, water will be allowed in the form of driplets. If it is sprinkler, in the form like small droplets of water will be thrown into the air, and if it is rain gun, then it will keep on rotating and it will apply to an area of 50 meter or 100 meter. है ना? The sprinkler irrigation is one of the pressurized irrigation methods in which water is sprayed into the air and fall on the ground surface, somewhat resembling a rainfall. In this system, the water is supplied from the water source through network of pipes and sprinkler nozzles located at fixed height and a velocity which breaks water jet into small droplets. Like I was telling to you, na, water को भेजना है with force, the amount of droplet, the size of droplet which we will be needing, will break the water into that droplet. है ना? As water is not allowed to flow over land surface, the water losses in the process of conveyance and distribution are completely eliminated. What do you mean by conveyance and distribution loss? When you are pumping water from a source and you are applying it to the field, in between water will get lost either in the form of evaporation or leakage or seepage. But in this case, water is coming through the pipe, so there is no evaporation loss and no seepage loss, right? Sprinkler system needs various essential components to enable water to fall to soil surface in the form of spray, and hence involves high initial capital cost. That is a problem. Sprinkler, drip, rain gun, all these systems, they need, for installation there is a cost involved. But once you have installed it, then there is not much cost involved. है ना? Comparatively, sprinkler system requires higher pressure to develop the spray having the droplets. Because why sprinkler will be requiring higher pressure? It is going against the gravity. First water needs to be thrown up, then it will come down. So breaking that droplets into our finer size requires going against gravity and falling down, right? Next, hence this method needs more energy than other water application methods. This method also requires and needs high operational skills, because you need to fix it, you need to operate it, you need to know the pressure, how much psi I need to apply, how much need of water I need to apply, what is my crop, because every crop has got different water requirements. है ना? The maintenance cost of various components used in this system is relatively greater. Little bit cost factor is there in this system. You can see this sprinkler. Water is, sorry. You can see this, है ना? This water is spread out in the form of that. Drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is also called as trickle irrigation, method of applying filtered water and fertilizers at a low discharge through the emitters or drippers directly into the soil. The pressure that need to maintain at the emitters, also called as operating pressure, is usually small operating pressure compared to operating pressure required at nozzle or sprinkler irrigation system. I was telling you, because it does not need to go against the gravity, just dropping with the gravity, है ना? The discharge of emitter varies from 0.5 to 12 liters per hour depending on the soil type, discharge available at the source and area to be irrigated. The low discharge of emitter results in partial wetting of soil root zone, like this, है ना? Drip is going on from here. Here your crop is there, plant is there. Small. This entire root zone will be covered, है ना? This entire root zone, partial wetting of soil root zone will be there. This is the layout. At times in OPSC examination, they have asked to draw a layout of the drip irrigation system. So you should be knowing. So you need not be so good in drawing. You can draw even block diagrams also. Like this is the system from where the water is coming, है ना? Then this is the main line. Then this is submains. This is laterals. There is, see, this is main line. This is submains. Then here laterals are there. Distribution, for distribution purpose, है ना? You can see here. This is submains. Then here sublaterals are there. Then distributors are there whenever your plants are located. See here, distributors are there in this region where the water gets distributed. So this you need to be drawing in a block diagram format, and it will fetch you good marks. Whenever you have an example, they will ask you question about drip and sprinkler. Just small diagram. How much time it will take? Not even 2 minutes. Put a water tank, like you will put simply. Just I will explain it to you. Water tank, है ना? You can write it also. Water tank, mains, है ना? Main line is this. This main line is going. This is submain. From submain, this will be laterals. And if here there is a plant, this will be emitters. Just simple. In a block diagram format, you need to explain it, and the examiner will be very happy about it because he will feel that you know the fundamental. Basic funda about asking a question is to check whether you know the funda or not. Okay. So, advantages of drip irrigation system. This is very important. Till now what you have read was theory part. This is what will be coming to your examinations. What are the advantages of drip? What are the disadvantages of drip? Water saving, but obviously because we are applying very less amount of water. Improved plant growth and crop yield. Once the plant growth is good, crop yield will be good. Labor and saving, as no land preparation is specially required for this. Why? Remember the surface methods which I had talked. Usme you need to cut furrows, you need to cut basins, you need to build ring. But here, no issues. Just your land is there, you bring the pipe को बिछा देना है. Just need to put the pipes in the fields, right? Energy savings, because in sprinkler what we found, we have to provide lot of energy for that water to go up and come down. Suitability to poor soils also we can apply this. Weed control. How weed control will be there, ma'am? Can you explain? Yes. So that बाहर एरिया में पानी नहीं गिरेगा, बाहर एरिया में पानी जाएगा तो क्या होगा? वीड्स ग्रो करेंगे, बाहर के एरिया को हम ड्राई छोड़ देंगे, जहाँ पानी चाहिए वहीं हम पानी देंगे. वेयर वाटर इज रिक्वायर्ड, जोटी पानी दरकार अच्छे सेठी ही पानी दवा, सही रूट जोन रही दवा. सो दैट्स वाई वीड कंट्रोल. गुड पॉइंट. गुड. Economy in cultural practices and operations. Like we were facing the problem there na in intercultural practices. Like ring was there already. Here what we know कि यहाँ पे ड्रिप है, यहाँ पे ड्रिप है, इसके बीच में हम काम कर सकते हैं. छोटा सा ही एरिया में नहीं है तो वो तो रूट जोन के पास ही रहेगा. वहाँ तो वैसे भी हम ज़्यादा इंटरकल्चरल ऑपरेशंस नहीं करेंगे. यूज़ ऑफ ब्रैकिस और सॉरी यूज़ ऑफ ब्रैकिस और सलाइन वाटर. हाउ can you explain how saline water can also be used? Because saline water directly आमे नहीं, जदि आमे apply कर दवा field रे, सेटा गोटे problem. salinity problem करदब ड्रिप सिस्टम से कहीं यूज कर saline water, how we are able to use saline water. आम पाखे ये अच्छी ना सिस्टम सेटअप अच्छी ना आम ये ट्रीट करदे pH EC आम आगे ही चेक करदे है ना, how much EC is there, EC is basically for salinity ना, how much electrical conductivity is there, based on that we will treat it, if required we will put gypsum or we will put calcium carbonate है ना, ट्रीट करके पकेबा जमती आम फर्टिलाइजर पकाउछु वाटर सल्युबल से ट्रीट करके पकेबा, बट दैट विल नॉट बी पॉसिबल इन द केस ऑफ दोज सरफेस मेथड्स ऑफ इरिगेशन है ना. एनहांस्ड फर्टिलाइजर एप्लीकेशन एफिशिएंसी, डेफिनेटली फर्टिलाइजर एप्लीकेशन एफिशिएंसी बढ़िबो. नो सॉइल इरोजन इज वन ऑफ द मेजर चैलेंजेस है ना. मिनिमम डिजीज एंड पेस्ट प्रॉब्लम, मिनिमम डिजीज एंड पेस्ट प्रॉब्लम केमती आसीबो. देयर इज in 2017 UPSC had asked a question. If you have seen the prelims question paper, they had asked a very beautiful question. Fungal spores are there na, fungal spreads through spores. What they had asked in that question ki how does plant diseases spread, something in a, I don't remember the question exactly, but I can tell you the gist of that ki they had asked a question ki how diseases are spread. In one of that they had written through winds. Okay, spores can fly through winds. Next they had put it as dust, option 2. You would have seen the UPSC question 1 2 3 4, 1 and 2, 1 2 and 3. So first option they had given it as wind, second they had given dust, third they had given irrigation water, and fourth they had given rainfall. So some people they thought how in dust it will go, but dust also can carry fungal spore na. So in that method, that's why I just remembered it. Minimum disease and pest problem will be there, because irrigation water, what happens, some soil borne diseases are there, soil borne pathogens. When you apply water completely, flow re jab chhad dabo, when you leave the water in this manner, here some fungal spores are there, it will get carried to the last plant also, so the entire field gets affected. In the same manner, pest, that eggs are there na, insects lays those eggs and insects are there, they will also get flowed through to the last point है ना. See, these are all nothing new which I have told you, nothing big, just you need to think. These topics you have read in your UG classes, that much is needed. UPSC does not ask from masters or PhD standard. You just need to follow it by your heart. You need to understand what I have read. Simply just need to put it in this manner है ना. Adaptability to application of mulches. Mulching you have seen, like this is a crop है ना, this entire is your field है ना. Here you have grown crops, what we will do, we will cover it with a plastic film. You have seen, sometimes we do it with plastic film, sometimes we do with this paddy straw है ना, other things. But paddy straw and all, they have a problem that diseases, pests, and the inside that insects will lay eggs, that will again create a problem of pest है ना. So we'll cover it with plastics. So what will be the advantages of mulching? Can you say me 1-2 points? Very good. Evaporation losses can be controlled. Second, wonderful, weed growth can be controlled. Then something more you think? यही पेस्ट एंड डिजीज का कंट्रोल करते हैं, प्लस सॉइल को अप्रोप्रिएट टेम्परेचर प्रोवाइड करते हैं, because some roots require high temperature, some require low temperature. So whatever the temperature we can manipulate accordingly na, to provide the micro environment है ना. Limitations of drip irrigation system, heavy initial investment is very high, but here also you know many people are not aware. This is a very big problem of our agriculture system, where the extension people are not telling the farmers, like many of you would also have your friends in agriculture extension officers, someone would be agriculture officers. They, matlab, sorry to say that, but they are not doing their job correctly, because had they been doing, drip irrigation has become very popular in western part of the country. I travel around the country. I will show you some videos in my next class, my actual videos which I have shot with the farmers. I will show you how every field I visited. One day I visited Gujarat and Maharashtra. I visited around 20-25 farmers. Every farmer has got a drip irrigation system. But when you come to eastern part of the country, Jharkhand, Bihar, West Bengal, Odisha, everything is gone. So one of the reasons they might say is that here river systems are very good. Mahanadi is there, Ganga is there, Hooghly is there, and all those rivers are there. But even though rivers are there, why to waste water? है ना? So this problem of this heavy initial investment, government tried to solve it. They provide almost 50 to 60% subsidy, but farmers are not aware. Even if they are aware, there is a problem of corruption and other things. They are not able to get in the timely manner. है ना? Next is maintenance cost is high. That is there. You have to change on the drippers, emitters. Sometimes when you are using high salinity water, clogging will happen, salts will get deposited. So maintenance is bit high. Non-availability of skilled technician in rural areas. That's a problem, because somebody is cultivating in a far off village in Koraput. He has to come to Koraput to fetch a technician. Only 1 or 2 technician will be there. He will again go to the village, traveling all 60-70 kilometers in a day. He will correct it. He will ask a lot of money. So that is a bit of problem, but that also has been solved, because there is ITIs, the skill development mission and all has been there now. So there are technicians nowadays, those who are able to do. Trampling of pipes by wild animals like nilgai and domestic animals. This nilgai, na, it's a animal like deer. It's a breed between deer and cow. Very sturdy animal. It runs through your field. It does not graze your field. It just breaks down the crop. It will simply run. And once it runs, it's a heavy animal. It will trample the pipes. So the pipes gets broken down. है ना? Salinity hazard, which I was talking to you, कि pipes में salinity problem आ जाएगा. है ना? Application time is longer. It requires long time to apply. है ना? So these were some of the first part, irrigation and related concepts, which I had told to you, and you can find कि almost from this part I had talked about कि different methods of irrigation and other things, right? We'll take a 2 minutes break and we'll begin another next topic, right? This year, how much you are scoring in paper? The prelims? You will qualify? You will qualify, na? So when we are expecting to write mains? January, na? So actually my target was that, na, कि before this mains, na, at least you join the test series, at least you write 2-3 free tests I have provided, है ना? You write it, I will be only correcting it, I will provide you correct feedback, है ना? 2-3 test series are there, you can collect it from them, you write it and provide it to them, they will give it to me, I will check and provide you the accurate feedbacks so that we can improve. Ultimate aim is to get a good rank. No issues, you take test series, you take online, whatever. There was a lot of problem. So that is the biggest problem. I need to focus on that area, test series area, na? And we have put it very limited price only, very 5,000 or 6,000 something we have put it for 10 tests. It's a very minimum amount because the amount of questions I have to research and put, I have to check it. Forestry, na? So no issues. Forestry also, Alok sir is there. He has been qualified. He has qualified with almost 300 marks out of 280, 270 he had scored out of 4. No, you should not. That also we will need to discuss. When you come for personal mentorship, na, that also will guide you. See, there will be questions. There are some questions which are meant to throw you off guard. They are meant to distract you. है ना? There are some, one second, there are some questions which are meant to disrupt you, because questions will be easy. What examiner wants is to distract you. Like you told that you felt nervous. You know, once what happened in 2017, which year I qualified UPSC prelims, that year there will be set A, B, C, D. In my set, coincidentally, first 19 questions I don't know the answers of any questions. I don't know answer of any question. If I know 50-50. Like, okay, this can be or that can be. मतलब pinpointed कि हाँ ठीक है यही होगा. Like capital of India is New Delhi. It is the New Delhi. मतलब like that I did not know. 21st question onwards, I took a sigh of relief. I almost for those 15-20 minutes, na, heartbeat went high. I have prepared for whole year. 19 questions I don't know. But still, I listened to some of the toppers previous year. Then they will always say that कि घबराने का नहीं है. You have to wait. There will be your chance. If you watch cricket, there will be some balls which will be Yorker, some will be bouncer. But again, you will get some ball which will be full toss also, na. You can hit it for 6. And that year I scored around 110 marks in prelims and I qualified. So that's why I was saying you should not get nervous. Like you said, now you got nervous by seeing the first question. That happens. Generally what happens now, we have done UG, we have almost done PG, family pressure is there to get a job, we also have a pressure, our colleagues have already been selected, many things comes into mind. So we need to talk on that aspect also, because student what they mean is mental strengthening, mental conditioning, hai na? So we will be talking on that aspect also. Studies is a part, that is most important part, hai na? Okay, one small topic, then we will take a break for 10-15 minutes. This is irrigation scheduling and rainwater harvesting. You would have seen in the UPSC syllabus and OPSC syllabus also, they ask a lot of questions about irrigation scheduling. Hai na? What is irrigation scheduling? Irrigation scheduling is the decision of when and how much water to apply to a field. The purpose of irrigation scheduling is to determine the exact amount of water to apply to the field and the exact timing for application. Exact amount and timing. The water requirement for every crop is different, and there is a period known as critical period of water application. That is, this critical period is such that during this period the water needs to be applied, and if there is any delay or dry period, then the crop loss is imminent and failure is bound to happen. For that particular period, if you did not provide the water, crop will fail. Hai na? So if the water availability is less than the water can be conserved for those particular stages, when the water can be applied, and for other periods it can be avoided. What it wants to say that you have only 10 liters of water, but you have to grow this crop. So you know this period is not a critical period. So you save your 10 liter of water, don't give it. Give it in which the period is really critical. है ना? So in that manner it helps. Methods of irrigation scheduling, soil moisture depletion approach. These methods you need to remember by heart. They will ask you as it is, these 10 methods, and no need to mug up, you will understand it yourself. Farmer, they will take a soil, even a farmer, even you people, you have all graduated, you will know, you will take up the soil, you will find it. If it is friable and it is flying in the air, that means it has very less moisture. है ना? So one method is soil moisture depletion effort. Next is deficit irrigation method. I will explain all these methods in coming slides. Irrigation water and cumulative pan evaporation approach. This is little bit of scientific method. Can evaporatory method, critical stage approach, soil cum sand mini plot technique, है ना? Feel and appearance method, sowing high seed rate, aerometers or tensiometers. Tensiometers can be used, plant indices, infrared thermometry, remote sensing. Even if you don't write in between, if you forget 1-2 methods, not a problem. But definitely you should write these two: infrared thermometry, remote sensing, tensiometers, because